That's it, Fear the Walking Dead. I'm leaving you. You always mistreat me and never respect me.
No. Don't leave. What if I gave you some flowers and chocolate?
Oh my goodness, you're so amazing. I love you so much. That's it again, Fear the Walking Dead. I can't stand you. You always do such terrible things.
Please don't leave.
Why would I ever stand
how about this nice diamond necklace?
Oh my goodness, you're so amazing.
Of course.
Thank you
Anything
so much.
for you.
This is the last straw. I won't stand for it anymore.
You want this half-drunk Dr. Pepper can?
How dare you? I'm leaving right now.
What? What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and this is Fear the Walking Dead Season 4, Episode 11, The Code. And
you maniacs! You blew it up! Ah, damn you! God damn you all to hell!
Yeah, so we had a Morgan episode that was bad. I figured it would be coming eventually, because even with as good a character as Morgan is, it doesn't mean the writing's suddenly going to massively improve on this show. So yeah, this episode was pretty shit. I mean, first of all, you got what I was worried was going to happen, which is you got a regression of Morgan's character. And it's funny because it didn't start that way. It started showing that he actually was trying to go after Alicia during the storm and when it was all picking up, but then ends up in the back of a semi that takes him all the way to Mississippi. I'm thinking, well, that's a weird move. But then he decides, I'm going to go back, I'm going to help, because there was a hurricane there. We at least see that he's not willing to just leave them. Even though he was going to go to Alexandria, it didn't feel like he was leaving them behind. It felt like this was him wanting to go see Rick and explain like he has changed, and he was giving them the option to come with them because he thought Alexandria would be a good place for all of them too. And so hearing that the hurricane kind of did a number on that area, he did get concerned and he did want to go back and make sure that they were okay. And I thought, good choice. But then he gets to that bridge and decides, never mind, I don't want to go do that. I want to leave them all behind. That's a regression of his character. And then by the end of the episode, guess what? He got character growth that he already had earlier this season. Isn't that just great writing? To regress a character just to build them back up after you've already built them up? Like I said at the end of last review, I understand sometimes that happens in life. Sometimes you relearn lessons. But I feel like most people don't relearn them so shortly after they just learned them. It might take a few years before you have to relearn a lesson. But for Morgan, it was basically, nope, I learned this lesson. I met John, I met Al, learned that I need to trust people. And then a few months later, after everything that happened, after I helped save all these people from going on a revenge murder spree, kind of, not really, because I still did technically kill a lot of people in revenge. Now that I've dealt with that, I'm going to go back and I'm going to explain to Rick that he was right, and now I have a chance to go back and help them again, and now I've decided I don't want to. I don't want to go back there again. It's too hard. It's stupid. It's really, really dumb. So that's already dumb. The whole thing with these people, Wendell and Sarah, I think, I don't get it. Apparently they stole this guy's truck, drove with Morgan in the back to this place where there's a bunch of other trucks. They're talking like they know this whole operation that's going on. Trucks driving around, leaving boxes with the message, take what you need, leave what you don't. And then all of a sudden we find out, nope, they're actually not a part of this operation at all. They're just a couple of grifters that stole this truck. I mean, okay, they hid it real well for a long time. Like if they really were just grifters looking for a place to go and supplies and stuff to keep themselves alive, then I feel like they would have instantly turned on Morgan whenever they had him at gunpoint and he was talking about this place where people were trying to rebuild. I feel like that would have been the point where they let it drop and go, oh, you know a place that has a bunch of people and a bunch of supplies? Take us there, please. But no, it was, oh, okay, yeah, well, the hurricane back there wiped out all those people. Oh, you want to go back to them? Okay, you can, that's fine. And then it's not until once he finds the guy that they were apparently trying to kidnap that makes the beer, that's when they finally let it drop and go, oh yeah, no, we were trying to kidnap him, and now we're going to force you to take us to Virginia. Why now? Well, because you found out that we were actually not good people. And now that you know this, well, now we can't act like good people anymore because that's how we were written. It doesn't feel realistic. It doesn't feel like these characters are real people. It feels like they're set up to be twist villains so that the audience can go, oh, they're not good people. On top of that, this Jim guy, I mean, talk about writing an ad for beer. I mean, half of his lines are just talking about how amazing beer is and how it's the foundation of society, of civilization. Just like, what, did Budweiser pay you to write a commercial for them? He didn't even say Budweiser, but you might as well have, because they set it up like one of those commercials. It was ridiculous. And then it all culminates into seeing the one woman that talked to Morgan earlier in the episode. Don't know anything about her, but she seems crazy because she wrote on the side of a walker's face, take what you need, leave what you don't. And she has the creepy smile. She's like, let's go to Texas. Sure, I guess she's crazy, even though she's apparently has a bunch of people doing nice things and leaving boxes for people to pick up supplies and stuff. She's crazy. Don't understand it. I'm sure we'll get an explanation, but I'm not excited because she doesn't seem that interesting to me. She just seems crazy. But that was just the story. Let's talk about some of the action scenes, because again, the action in this show is a joke. We got the guy Jim in the sack, and he just so happens to be running on the side of the road as Morgan is driving by. Don't know how he got away from Sarah and Wendell to begin with, but he did. Morgan just happens to see him. He goes to help him. And again, the walkers are not deadly. He falls next to two walkers with a bag on his head, his hands tied, and the walkers, without their hands tied, just lay next to him and go... Because as we all know, walkers, they don't know how to use their arms. What was that? Oh, they've ripped people apart before with arms? Oh, okay. I don't know. It's stupid. It's so dumb. If you're going to have characters get out of these situations, make it realistic. When you have a guy fall in between two walkers, they're laying right next to him. They want to kill him. He can't push back. His hands are tied behind his back, and he's got a bag over his head. He can't see anything. If you're going to have that happen, then have Morgan show up and kill the walkers before they land next to him on the ground. Not he's laying there for about 10 seconds while the two of them are just biting the air, not even close to him, and not even trying to reach for him. They're just laying there. It's so dumb. And you also have Morgan near the end on top of the car. He's got all these walkers around him. Of course he gets out of it. And nobody dies from a group of walkers in this show. Unless they're bad guys, nobody's going to die from walkers in this show. Like, a part of me wants to go back and rewatch the first couple seasons and see how many deaths from walkers have we had. It does not feel like we've had many in the show, if any. Most of them have been people have killed them. Yeah, I mean, as much as I like Morgan and I don't want to see him die, the fact that he can jump off of the car... Well, first of all, not even just jump off. He kicks a couple of them in the head with his boot, slips and falls. They grab his foot, and all they do is take his boot off, and they still have a hold of his foot, and he's able to just kind of pull away from them. Then he jumps off, starts slipping down this bank, and all the walkers are just down below going, I'm gonna get ya. I'm gonna get ya. None of them actually go for him. There's no intensity in this scene. I'm not sitting here going, oh my gosh, Morgan could die. I'm sitting here going, okay, what bullshit reason is he gonna use to get out of this one? Oh, well, there's a bunch of supplies around, and he grabs a knife, cuts his bonds, and then grabs a sign or something and starts cutting their heads off. I mean, I get Morgan's a badass. Could you have him get out of this whole situation in a more badass and realistic way, and not the way you did it, which was happenstance, walkers not actually being the hungry, bloodthirsty monsters that they are? So this episode it killed most of my interest for the rest of this season. Because you take one of the best characters, granted John is still a good character, they've not done anything too stupid with him yet, but still, you've taken Morgan. Not only have you made his story and the story of the people that he met in this episode, brought us all this stupidity that is not interesting. And the story of these other two makes them look like characters instead of real people. And there's just so much about this episode that doesn't work. Again, it was Morgan centered. It was Morgan focused. He's the best character on the show right now. And if you can't even make a good story surrounding him, why do I have any confidence that you're going to make better stories with worse characters? Like Alicia, like Luciana, like Strand, who have all been shown to be kind of assholes. So obviously they can still make good episodes, but this one, it definitely killed my hope that this is going to be a good show. Even with Morgan and John and June and Al, like with the four of them joining, they're a lot more interesting. That's really disappointing that one episode can drop my hopes as much as it did. But with all that being said, move on to the next one. I'll see you guys there. And now episode 12, Week. So we are finally getting to see a little bit more about this woman who apparently probably is going to be the main villain for the rest of the season. I hope not into next season as well, because she doesn't really seem that interesting. Like, her whole thing seems to be that humans are weak, but the walkers are strong. So anytime she helps somebody turn into a walker, now in her mind, they're strong. They're no longer weak. It just seems weird. Not all that threatening, if I'm being honest. One woman with a walker on a rope is not that threatening. She doesn't look threatening, so maybe you could argue, well, that's part of what makes her dangerous, is she doesn't look that threatening. so people will underestimate her and maybe let her get too close or something. But yeah, she's just crazy, and she thinks walkers are stronger, and definitely haven't seen this before in The Walking Dead, where people think walkers are actually the better way to be. So I don't know, it doesn't feel like she's going to be all that intimidating. Obviously now she's got Al's van, which is going to make her more dangerous because the van itself is dangerous. But even then, I'm not really that invested in her story. But the main focus on this one, Al, June, and trying to get her van back after it gets taken by a guy, which felt was kind of weirdly set up. Like, they leave the van because I guess I thought they were out of gas and they were looking for it, but apparently it was just low on gas because some random guy decides to take it and drive it until it's out of gas completely. And it just turns into a story about how Al wants to get the van back. June is trying not to be the person who runs all the time, and it's not really that interesting. Like, for Al, I pretty much predicted what her story was going to be within the first 10 minutes, maybe. There was just a point whenever she and June were talking, and they were talking about what was on her camera and the fact that she doesn't have anybody. And when that line popped up in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, no. So she has tapes of people that she knows and she cares about. This is just a red herring? I don't know if that's the right term for it, but basically it's something to make us think, oh no, she doesn't have anybody, she's all alone, and then find out later, no, actually she does, and that's why she cares so much about the tapes on the van. I mean, it's pretty predictable, if I'm being honest. Even with June's story, you know, her whole thing, she's trying not to be the person who runs. There are a couple times when it feels like she might be able to, but ultimately in the end, we know she's going to go back. Like I said before, I mean, her story, it felt like we kind of moved on from this after we had a couple of episodes where that was sort of the focus. And now we're focusing on it again. Now she's still worried she's going to run again. How many times are we going to go through these same character arcs that we've already gone through in the same season? And with her, it's been multiple times. We do once again have some stupid action/story moments where characters should be dying and they don't. Apparently Al has some sort of sickness. I don't know exactly what the sickness is. Apparently it's a sickness that she needs medicine for. So she tells June that there's medicine on the van, but then there's not. She lied because she wanted to get the van back. And then June just happens to find medicine on the bus that was right near the van. What are the chances? And on top of that, Al also nearly gets attacked while she's dealing with all of these awful symptoms that makes it to where she can't even stand up. And then this one walker that's been in this mud hole throughout this entire thing hasn't been able to get out. Suddenly now is just able to pull itself out while leaving a leg behind. Why? Because we need tension. And so we're going to have this tense moment. Ooh, guys, Al could die. Do you really think you're going to fool us? We finally had somebody get killed by a walker, but it was somebody who we didn't even know. We just met him in this episode, this Quinn guy, and it was a walker being led by somebody else. So I almost look at that as the walker didn't kill him. She used the walker to kill him. She used the walker as a weapon. I don't even count that as a walker death, because I'm talking about when characters are just randomly attacked by walkers. It never kills our main characters. And this was another example. Al can barely pick herself up off the ground, and now all of a sudden she has enough strength to hold it off, and it's not even going for any part of her. Like, I've seen walkers before, they chew on legs, they chew on other body parts, they'll rip body parts open. Not this one. This one crawls all the way from her feet all the way up toward her head, trying to bite at her head. Why? Because this walker's not deadly. The walkers on the show are not deadly. And then she's able to pull out her knife. Despite some struggle, she slices its ear off, which you would think, okay, well, there you go. That should like kind of put it off to where now all of a sudden her hand slips or something. I mean, it's covered in mud, so it's going to be slick trying to hold it back anyway. But no, she still manages to hold it off, push it, and then kicks it up under the car where it just sort of stays. And it's like, all right, I'll just wait until you kick this car down on top of me. Any day now. Come on, Al. This car jack, it's not the most sturdy thing, so you should be able to kick it. And there we go. Now I'm dead. Cool. It took her like 5 kicks, and the walker apparently just stayed under the car the whole time. What stupidity is that? Not to mention the fact that June and this Quinn guy probably should not have ended how it did. First of all, he shows up, threatens her. Instead of just getting on the van and leaving her at gunpoint, which I guess, to be fair, the van was out of gas, so he couldn't have just left. But like he just stands there, and he doesn't seem like the type that's just willing to kill somebody else willy-nilly unless his life was threatened. So we're just sitting there like in this tense moment where, oh, is he going to shoot her? No, of course not. He's just going to stand there and wait for her to fight back, and that's exactly what happens. So They're just setting up these moments of intensity that never are actually tense. The only intense moment I actually had was whether or not she was going to kill him. Thankfully, she didn't, but then of course he dies anyway. Outside that, the only other stupid thing has everything to do with Morgan. He's trying to call him on the walkie-talkie. They hear him, but then they can't say anything back because that's how walkie-talkie works. If you're connected with somebody else and you can hear what they say, it doesn't work vice versa. It only works one way. You can only receive what he's saying, but for some reason the radio waves just can't get back. And then the battery dies right as he comes through clearly because of course it did. It's so funny how things will work out coincidentally. I didn't even talk about this, but Morgan gets saved from a walker at the beginning of the last episode because a random board comes flying out of nowhere and connects with its head and takes it out. I'm thinking, oh, it's a good thing it hit that walker and not him. The show will work for our main characters, but then won't work sometimes to bring intensity. Again, the walker climbing out of the mud hole whenever Al is on the ground, unable to move. It's just so dumb sometimes. But obviously he's trying to reach out to them. It's just weird to me that Jim, Sarah, and Wendell don't leave. Like, I know they're trying to go along with him because they want to get to Virginia. They want to get to this place that's going to have all of these people trying to rebuild. But at the same time, I feel like they would at some point get sick of it. They would at some point go, why are we wasting our time here? We could probably go find something else that works for us. He's not anywhere near us right now. What do we have to lose? Like, there's not even a guarantee that we'll survive this whole ordeal and make it over to Virginia. So why are we wasting our time here? They just seem like the people who would do that. So why aren't they doing that? It just feels really stupid. But that'll do it for these 2 episodes. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What were your thoughts on these 2 episodes? Let me know. We can talk about and discuss all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe. Future Fear the Walking Dead reviews. Also check out the channel. We have a lot of reviews on here as well as some Let's Plays. So check those out if you have time. But until next time, hope you guys have a great day. I will talk to you all later. Peace out.